What's good, guys? My Kid here, back again. How's everybody doing out there? Like my Thundercat shirt? Yeah, well, this is not about Thundercats, guys. This is about something I voted. I asked you guys, did you guys want me to talk about it? So I laid it out for a while. I asked you guys a poll. I posted a poll. Did you guys want me to talk about Avengers Doomsday and the casting so far? And I say so far because I don't believe that is the entire cast of this film. Now, if you guys remember, there was last week there was a video that Marvel put up, and it was basically showed all these chairs, and it was live streaming, and every so often a chair would go by and say the name. It started with Chris Hemsworth, so we know Thor is returning, and it just kept going. And we were seeing the lineup of Avengers Doomsday. And by the end of the video, we saw Robert Downey, and he went shh, and then walked away. And of course, that basically meaning, and then it said, Avengers Doomsday is in production. Now, let's look at the list of the roster so far, the cast so far. Like I said, Chris Hemsworth coming back as Thor, fine. Vanessa Kirby coming back as Sue. Anthony Mackie as Cap. Sebastian Stain as Bucky Barnes. Letitia Wright coming back as Shuri, Black Panther. Paul Rudd coming back as Ant-Man. Wyatt Russell as U.S. Agent. Tenoch Haruda Majaya, I hope I'm saying the name right. Namor is returning. That was a little shocker right there, because at the time, he was having some issues or some trouble, and I'm like, oh, this was Black Panther, was Wakanda Forever his final hoorah, and that was it. But it seems like no, Namor is returning. Ebon Moss-Bachrach, who plays Thing, is returning. Simu Liu, Shang-Chi returning. Florence Pugh, of course. Then the big one right there, the big one that really shocked me, was Kelsey Grammer. So basically, Kelsey Grammer is returning, most likely back as Hank McCoy Beast, that we saw at the end of the Marvels. He was there, and it was cool to see Kelsey looking very much like Beast, and it was cool. It was really cool. And then we saw Maria Rambeau in a different costume, and if you guys know the costume, y'all should know. I'm not going to spoil it for you because probably some people haven't seen it. Just saying. And then of course Louis Pullman is returning as a Sentry. So basically that means the Sentry is not dead or is going to die in Thunderbolts or whatever. Danny Ramirez is coming back as Falcon. Fine, that's great. Joseph Quinn, Johnny. David Harbour is coming back as what am I forgetting? Red Guardian. Red Guardian. Wilson Duke returning as M'Baku. Hannah John-Kamen is returning back as the Ghost. Tom Hiddleston is another one that shocked me a little bit, but then it didn't. Is back as Loki. And then the next one, Patrick Stewart, basically, that was another one. And I'm going to get into that right there. Patrick Stewart, Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen returning. Alan Cumming returning. Another one that had my eyes like, wait, what? Whoa. Rebecca Romaine returning. Another one that blew my mind. That one had me. And I'm like, whoa, we're getting a lot of X-Men actors returning. James Marsden returning. Then the one that really just made me like, was Channing Tatum returning as Gambit. Thank you comic gods for that. Pedro Pascal returning, and of course Robert Downey Jr. Now, with that was the lineup. With that being said, I don't feel that this is the entire lineup. I feel they're hiding some, or they don't want it. They're going to announce more, because to me, this would be the perfect time to bring back. Hold on, I thought somebody. To me personally, this would be the perfect time to bring back Monica, because they said Monica is going to play a huge part in the later Avengers films. I also feel that there was no Kamala Khan, there was no Captain Marvel. I was shocked at that too. No Hulks. I was like, whoa, there's no Hulks. I was a little shocked at that. And there's a lot of other characters I'm not going, but I feel, and what else? No Eternals. Because there are still some Eternals that are alive. And I'm shocked at that. That really is what threw me. I'm like, wait, whoa, okay. That's why I'm saying, guys, I feel that this is not the entire cast. This is not the entire cast. Now, some would say, what about Wasp? That is an interesting question. Since Evangeline Lilly has retired from acting, it makes me wonder if we will ever see her again, or will they recast her Wasp as Hope Van Dyne. So it does make me wonder, or will they do what I think they're going to do later on after Secret Wars, kind of do a soft reboot and have some of the characters but played by different actors now. That's just me personally. But yeah, man, I was a little shocked at that. And I did not watch that 5-hour video. Once I saw what was going on, I'm like, okay, I think I get what this is. But that was a little ridiculous. I'm a Marvel fan, but not that big a time to just sit there and watch when I could have been doing something else, like rearranging my sock drawer. Yeah, if you know, you know. Okay? If you get the joke, you get the joke. But at the same time, no, I was not going to sit there and watch it. What I see is I like it. And what I see is interesting to me. But then, of course, when this stuff was getting put up, then you started seeing posts. I would see posts on my various social media feeds basically saying, well, for example, here's one. For example, then what did this matter? And they basically showed the death of Professor Xavier from Logan. And when I saw that, I'm like, you do know this is probably a variant of Professor Xavier, another variant. We had two variants so far. There was a variant in Doctor Strange. That was another one we didn't see, Doctor Strange. What happened to him? Yeah, Wanda killed him. And we know that the universe, the world, the earth that Logan was in, he's still dead. And we got a variant Wolverine. Yes. So of course, yes, they're probably going with a variant of that. Same thing with Magneto. It could be, and Rebecca coming back as solely as Mystique is interesting, because now it makes me wonder: are they going to follow through with what we know is if basically the story in X3 was canon? Remember, in X3, what happened to Mystique? She lost her powers. But yes, at the end of X3, we saw that the cure that came from Leech was not permanent, because Magneto started gaining his powers back. Will they take that approach? Same thing with Cyclops. What happened to Cyclops? He was the Phoenix, or let me rephrase that, because that wasn't the Phoenix. That was just Jean on that time of the month. She must have killed him. So there you go. So these probably are a Magneto. It could be a Cyclops from another Earth, maybe a Magneto, and maybe even a Professor Xavier from another world, another Earth, and of course the Beast. Hank is probably, and same thing with maybe not Alan, maybe not Nightcrawler, because he didn't die. We just don't know where he went. Just saying. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with those, especially the X-Men characters. Those are the characters I'm really interested in and really want to know why. Why them? What makes them out? Yeah, yes, Doom has had some experience with the X-Men and everything like that, but it makes me wonder where that's gonna go. I'm really, really, really interested in seeing where that takes us. Not just as much as anything else, but with Chris Hemsworth coming back as Thor, now we know Thor has been raising his adopted child, or in a sense, who is actually his real child, because that was his real daughter, as the daughter of Gorg. So it does make me wonder, and if she does return, will she be grown, and will she be like the equivalent of Thor girl? You know, I would love that. That'd be cool. But yeah, very interesting. No Hulks, no Doctor Strange. Would I keep Spider-Man out of it? There's a part of me that said yes, and I figured that maybe he would at the time. Yeah, maybe he would be kept out of, because no one knows who he is anymore. So keep that out, and I will talk about the Spider-Man stuff as well. But outside of that, you know, it does make me wonder where things are going to go with a lot of characters, and how it's going to be. How interesting it's going to be to see Reed interact with the Fantastic Four, interact with these other heroes, is going to be really fun. And with Sentry now being a part of it, is this the reason why we don't have Captain Marvel? Well, we got a powerhouse now. We don't need you. That's the way. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. I'm kind of looking at it from that point of view. It's like, well, we got a powerhouse. We don't need it. And I don't like the Sentry. Fuck that character. So, and that's from the source material from the comics. So it does make me wonder, will the MCU rendition of the Sentry change my mind? Because I could say this I never liked Maria Hill in the comics, but MCU rendition of her made me like her. I like that version. Hate the comic version. I hate that. So will that do the same for me? But I doubt it, because I don't like the Sentry. I really don't. I don't. But I am interested. I find this interesting that they showcase the cast right now, but I'm also interested in seeing, are they hiding more? Are they hiding more? Because some would probably say, well, how about some of the Guardians? Well, the Guardians, we do have the new Guardians, so will we see the new Guardians of the Galaxy? You know, Rocket's team, him and Adam Warlock, Groot, that definitely is supposed to be Captain Marvel's daughter. I'm forgetting her name right now off the top of my head. So will we see that rendition of the Guardians? And will we see any new characters? Will new characters show up as well? Like I said, no Eternals, but hopefully we'll see more. I still have this strong feeling, guys, that this is not the entire cast. I'm gonna die on that sword right now. And if I am wrong, and I'll be wrong, I'll eat that crow, no problem. But I feel that it's right now, it's not chef's kiss, but it's good. But I'm more interested in seeing all these X characters. And will we see any more X characters? because a lot of them are not here. Or will they be recasted? Will Storm be there? Will Rogue? Will we see, Kitty or Colossus or Wolverine, for God's sakes? Will we see different versions of them? This would be the perfect time to bring X-23, maybe even Hawkeye come back. Well, both Hawkeyes. I'm giddy. I'm giddy, and right now there's in my head, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? But outside of that, guys, what do you think of it so far? I'm all for it. It's not chef kiss for me right now, but are you interested? And how do you feel about the X characters come back? But I just feel that the people that are going off saying like, well, that death is no longer potent anymore because it didn't make. It still has a purpose. It still has a purpose. It's just, you got to remember that this is the multiverse era of the MCU. And let me address that real quick too. For everybody out there saying the multiverse stuff is lazy, why is it when Marvel does this stuff, it's lazy. It's lazy. It's poor writing. But when DC does it, y'all have a freaking hard on for it. Oh my God, a Flash from a different alternate universe. Marvel does it too. And it's not just that. It's when Marvel does legacy characters and DC does it, y'all are cool with the DC stuff. And I'm not talking about all of y'all, but some of y'all need to pump y'all brakes at the door with that nonsense. Because multiverse stuff is not lazy. Because at the end of the day, and this is why I say this, at the end of the day, y'all seem to forget a lot of the greatest X-Men stories were alternate stories from alternate worlds, alternate timelines. Days of Future Past, even though that was only 2 issues, alternate storyline. Age of Apocalypse, alternate storyline. X-Men The End, alternate storyline. I can go on and on. Great storytelling, different variants. Y'all need to get your heads out of the cloud with that. But every time Marvel does it, y'all have a pissy fit. Y'all know who y'all are. Get over that. But outside of that, I'm cool with this. Like I said before, the cast, the roster, and I'm shocked at some of them. Some did have my like, wait, whoa. That's how, that's how I kind of went. But some of them were just like, okay, I expect that. I expected that. But like I said, Kelsey Graham, that one caught me. And Channing Tatum, I was like, okay. But outside of that, guys, you guys take care. And I'll see you guys next time. Deuces. You thought I was going to do bang, right? No. Your alpha always does this, not this.